also the co-founder, together with Richard Muller, my father. We created the project a bit over 2 years ago because we were very concerned about some of the issues that have been raised by skeptics about the record, the global land temperature record. And we felt that somebody needed to address them. And we were making big policy decisions about global warming, and yet there were gaps in the science that really needed to be filled. So we might be having a heat wave here in the US right now, but it doesn't mean that it's hot over here in India, or it doesn't mean that it's hot in Russia, it doesn't mean that it's hot in Australia. That's weather. There are weather patterns all across the world. What global warming is a very slight, it's less than 1 degree centigrade over the past 50 years, rise of temperature averages across the whole world. So one particular temperature, one particular location, the temperature might have gone up, might have gone down. But what you're looking at is the difference all around the entire globe, at least for now we've only done the land, but across all the land, and seeing on average, has it gone up or has it gone down, and by how much. Over the past 50 years, there's been quite a steep slope rise in the temperature, about 0.9 degrees Celsius. If you go back all the way to 1753, there's been a more gradual rise, 1.5 degrees C over 250 years. The colors you see in red, green, and blue are the previous groups that did work on global warming. You can see we're in extremely close agreement with them in the modern period. As you go back in time, a little bit more variation, but all of that is within their error bars. So if you want to look up the temperature record of Mongolia, just go to our website, berkeleyearth.org, and look up Mongolia, and you can find how much global warming there's been in Mongolia. You can find it in any city, in any country, in any continent in the world. In the US, in the past 50 years, 1/3 of temperature stations have showed less global warming, that they've been global cooling in the past 50 years. Where this has happened, and in many places it's in cities and locations that are Republican. So you ask, why are people skeptical? Well, is it possible that perhaps it has something to do with the fact that in their specific location, temperature records haven't been going up, they've been going down. Early on, we were really struggling to raise money, in part because we didn't know what we were going to find. And people said, well, are you going to find that there's more global warming or less global warming? And we honestly said we didn't know. And I think that was one of the reasons that for many of the more political foundations, they didn't want to support us. The groups that funded us are the groups that are really interested in the science, and they were people who didn't necessarily care about the answer, but they wanted to see increased transparency, they wanted it to be easier to access the data, they wanted to have the barriers to entry into climate science lowered. I think the media has really mischaracterized the Koch Foundation. When we spoke to them, they were always interested in science. Their biggest interest was in transparency. That they believe that all the data should be online, they believe that anybody should be able to access it. That's really been one of their priorities. And in strong science. And so they've been very happy to work with us, and I hope are continuing to be very happy to work with us in the future. All of our funding has been received in the form of unrestricted educational grants, which means that our donors have no say over how we do our research or what we publish. And I think that's just a nice buffer to have, so that we can show that we are not required to publish anything specific. And very importantly, we think that we also get great feedback from the public. And in the first articles that we posted online back in October of last year, actually the most interesting feedback and the most changes that we've made to the details of our paper. The substance hasn't changed, but the details have. And those have been from comments that were posted from people who read our papers online. It's going to take time for people to go through the detail, to go through our programs, to go through our data and analysis. I hope that when they do, it will help build a consensus that global warming is real, that it is human caused, and that we need to do something